How DevOps prevents your product from crashing during launch. What if your biggest launch day becomes your biggest outage? You have invested months into development, marketing, campaigns are live. Your team is excited and then suddenly slow loading, failed transaction, or worse, complete crash. That one moment can cost revenue, reputation, and customer trust. Hey, I am Mehul Brahmbhatt, CEO and founder of MatrixFix, and I have helped hundreds of businesses build, scale, and launch digital products successfully. Today, I will show you how DevOps prevents your product from crashing during launch and how you can approach launch day with clarity instead of chaos. Over the last 15 plus years in a digital technology and system architecture, I have seen high budget launches fail within minutes. Not because the product was bad, but because the backend wasn't ready for a real world pressure. And once you understand what actually protects a launch, you stop relying on hoops and start relying on a system. So let's break this down in a practical way. Build for a launch day, not just testing day. Most products are built in controlled environments where traffic is predictable and systems load is minimal. Everything works perfectly when a few internal testers are using it. But launch day introduces a real world pressure. Sudden traffic spikes, multiple transactions, API calls firing simultaneously, and user behavior that cannot always be predicted. DevOps shift your thinking from does it work to will it sustain, scale it without breaking. Because a product that functions well in testing isn't automatically prepared for a peak demand. Infrastructure as code (IAC) ensures your environments are consistent, scalable, and free from configuration surprises. Auto-scaling mechanism dynamically increases server capacity when traffic exceeds expectations. Load and stress testing simulates a peak user volume to identify a breaking point early. Optimized cloud architecture design distributes system load intelligently to avoid bottlenecks. When your infrastructure is designed for a pressure, launch day becomes a showcase of a strength rather than a taste of survival. Continuous testing removes hidden weaknesses. Many systems don't fail because of a major flaws. They fail because of a small unnoticed gaps. A slow database query, an inefficient API call, or a minor memory issue can remain invisible during development but become critical under heavy usage. DevOps integrates continuous testing throughout the development lifecycle. So issues are caught early, not at the final stage. Automated testing pipelines validate every code updated before it moves forward. Performance testing under simulated load uncovers scaling limitations early. Integrated security scan detects vulnerabilities before public exposure. Production-like staging environments replicate a real usage scenario accurately. When testing is ongoing, confidence increases naturally and a launch day feels far more predictable. CI/CD reduces deployment risk. Large last-minute deployment introduces complexity and increases the chances of error. When too many changes go live at once, troubleshooting becomes difficult and stressful. Continuous integration and continuous deployment. Break this pattern by introducing a smaller controlled updates throughout the development. Frequent small releases isolate changes and reduce deployment risk. Automated deployment workflows eliminates manual configuration mistakes. Instant rollback mechanism allows a quick restoration of a stable versions. Version controlled pipelines ensure consistency and transparency across teams. With structured deployment processes, your launch becomes a managed rollout instead of a high-risk event. Real-time monitoring detects issues early. Even well-built systems can encounter unexpected behavior. The key difference between disruption and stability is how quickly issues are detected and resolved. DevOps integrates monitoring systems that provide a full visibility into a performance from the moment your product goes live. Live performance dashboards track uptime, response times, and a system health continuously. Automated alerts notify team immediately when thresholds are exceeded. Centralized logging systems pinpoint the exact source of error quickly. User activity monitoring tools identify unusual behavior patterns before complaint escalates. Early detection enables a rapid action, and rapid action protects both revenue and reputation. Security is part of stability. Launch day increases visibility and exposure. High traffic not only attracts user but can also attract security risk. Treating security as a final checklist then create a vulnerability. DevOps integrates security directly into a development and deployment workflows, so protection becomes a part of a system design. Automated vulnerability scanning runs within deployment pipelines. Structured access control policies restrict unauthorized system accesses. Continuous dependency monitoring reduces third-party security risk. Predefined backup and disaster recovery plan ensure business continuity. When security is embedded from the beginning, your launch builds trust rather than uncertainty. Collaboration prevents chaos. Technology alone cannot prevent launch failures. Misalignments between developments, operations, and other teams often creates avoidable breakdowns. DevOps promotes shared ownership, clear communication, and coordinate execution across departments. Unified dashboards provide shared visibility into a system performance. Clearly defined releases timelines prevent last-minute confusion. Structured incident response plans outline recovery step in advance. Shared accountability frameworks replace blame with collaboration. When team moves in sync, execution improves and smoother execution leads to a stable launch. What high-performing teams do before launch? The teams that consistently experience smooth launches don't treat DevOps as just a technical setup, they treat it as a discipline of a preparation. They assume growth will come, they assume traffic will spike, and they assume that recovery speed matters as much as prevention. Instead of hoping nothing breaks, they plan for resilience. Here is what preparation often includes: mock launch simulations that recreates peak traffic conditions to observe system behavior. Failure scenario drills where specific services are stressed to test recovery speed. Pre-tested backup environments configured and ready before launch week. Clearly defined ownership structures ensuring every issue has an immediate responder. This approach isn't about expecting a problems, it's about engineering confidence. And when preparation becomes a part of your culture, stability becomes a predictable. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you planning a launch this year? What worries you the most: traffic overload, deployment, errors, or a system downtime? Drop your biggest challenge in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more insights, and I'll see you in the next video.